Okay, today I'm going to have a go at some BIGA. I've set the pizza app using the settings in here. Oops, in here and in settings you can switch on BIGA, as you can see. What I'm going to go for: 6 balls, 280 grams, 7% hydration, 3 hours salt. I'm a bit short on time. I would have liked to have done a longer room temperature leavening, but that's 8 hours at 18 degrees. I'm going for 50% bigger. If I start messing around putting this up, I end up with the over leavening warning, and I haven't got time to change that, so you need a longer proof in order to get rid of that. But the bigger doses, which is what I'm going to do right now, is 486 grams of flour, 219 grams of water, and a big chunk of yeast, 4.86 grams. I'm using fresh yeast again. So according to the instructions and the pizza app, the BIGA is 24 hours. So after 24 hours, I will then use the BIGA and mix in the rest of the ingredients, which are noted here. 4.86 grams of flour again, 461 grams of water, 29 grams of salt, and another 4.1 grams of yeast. So yeah, pretty hungry this thing for yeast. Well, that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to use the mixer for the first part. It's simply a case of going back to old school and mixing the yeast in the water, which I am doing at the moment. Once I've mixed this, we'll get back to pouring it in here. Okay, so we're ready to go. That's all mixed in. I'm going to keep a small portion of the flour to one side to clean off my my utensils, the spoon that I'm going to use to mix it, and let's get going. So this has got the yeast already. Back to the good old days. I haven't done this for a while, which is bad really. Should do it more often. So again, I haven't made BIGA for probably months and months. But we're not after a gluten structure. We want a ragged looking shaggy dough clumps. Okay, I'm just going to clean off this a bit of flour. Beautiful. I'll add the rest, so that's all flouring. Let's just give this a general move around so we've got all the flour combined. Get much easier than that, really, does it? Oops. Okay. Breaking up any of the bigger clumps. Right, that's it. So I'm going to cover this up with some plastic, and then that can sit at room temperature for 24 hours. And we'll get back to it after that. Okay, so at this point I forgot to turn my microphone on, but this is the BIGA 24 hours after. Now, I did actually open this up last night before I went to bed because I thought it hasn't really grown much. Is it all right? But when I got in there, I had a pull around on it and I thought, it's got a lovely aroma to it. So I thought, yeah, it's doing some stuff, and I could see gluten strands. So at that point, I knew we were in good shape. As you can see here, there is some bits of gluten strands that you can see. So it's all good. What we're going to do now is get this pulled to bits and then stick it in the mixer bowl. At this point, it's pretty easy to do. It's got a little bit of strength to it. It's not sticky, and it breaks away quite easy. So all we need to do now is lower the mixer head in there and get some water in there. I've actually already included the yeast in the water, give it a good stir up, and there is also some ice cubes in there to help keep the temperature down. So now it's just a case of starting the machine off on speed 1. The BIGA is quite dense and I wasn't sure how it was going to handle that, but it actually does a very good job of it. And as you can see, the mixer's making a meal of this. It's no problem for it at all. So for the moment, it's just a case of simply adding more and more hydration to get this dough fully hydrated up to 70%. Okay, so the first ladle of flour is going in. This is one of a few. Rather than add all the flour in one go, I simply add a ladle at a time to help the mixer deal with the extra dehydration that's going on. And also I just feel it's a better way of incorporating the flour. Just need to add some more water to hydrate that flour up. Okay, so apologies, we now have the microphone working, so I'll have done a voiceover of the last few bits, I think. So we'll carry on with the mic going. What an idiot. I'm going to add a bit more water now. Alright, we'll just bang in some more flour. So, as you probably missed on the first half, the second portion of the ingredients I've used caputo Nuvola. We've only got an 8-hour proof, so the first half, the actual BIGA itself, is with Manitoba, so I figured that we'll go for something that's not as strong for the second part of the ingredients. We'll see how it works out. I don't know. The water has got the fresh yeast in, and you probably missed, I've already gone through this, but flour for the second portion of the ingredients is 486 grams, water 461 grams, salt is 29 grams, and the fresh yeast has got 4.1 grams in it. So quite a big chunk of yeast in this rascal. 9 grams of yeast in total, roughly. So we've got the timer on. We've been mixing for 3 minutes now. I'm going to just break out and shove some more flour in. More water. Trying to find the infrared thermometer. Got it. And see what this is running at now. 16 degrees. Oh, yeah, 16. It did say 13 then, but that must have been a cold spot. Right, there's not a great deal of flour left now, so what I'm going to do is just bang all that lot in. And there's all the flour. And we've got a couple of inches of water, so I'll chuck some water in to help. A few dry bits around the side, so I'm going to just try and get some water on those bits. Looks like it's got them now, I think. Yep. It's looking nice. More water. Temperature's still 16. Yeah, all the fun. Didn't start my timer off again after losing my focus with the microphone. Oh well, it's anyone's guess this time, I'm afraid. A lot of moving parts when you're doing videoing and dough at the same time, I'll tell you. Okay, it's starting to look good, that now. The last bit of water in the bottom now. Bit of yeast stuck. Let's get that mixed up, and in she goes. I've got the salt in my hand, so I definitely won't forget that. Oh, that's looking really good. So we're on speed 3 at the moment. So a quick temperature check. 17 degrees, that's good. Right, I'm going to bang some salt in now. I actually had a dough ball left over from last week's cooking session, and I just threw it in the oven and let it cook and ate it like bread afterwards. And I was quite surprised just how salty this stuff is, even with just 3% in it. Really quite a salty base that we're eating, and I think it's disguised by all the toppings and stuff, but there is quite a lot of salt in that bread. Oh, it's coming together now. I better get this salt in. Yeah, that's the salt gone. Okay, note that. Quick temp check, we're at 17 degrees. I might just let this rest for a couple of minutes now and let the flour soak up that bit of water. Okay, come back in a minute. Okay, so that's had 5 minutes to rest. Let's see what it starts off like. I'm going to set it off on number 1. Can't be far off being done this, looking at that. 19 degrees. Doesn't look like 70% that, but it is. Okay, let's have a quick feel of what it's like. Wow, I think it's looking at that, I'd say that was done. I don't know though. Let's have a quick window pane on it. Feels very, very dense. It feels quite cold still. Yeah, I think I'll leave it a bit longer, but it's not far off. Not far off at all. Looks like it could do with some more water in it. Right, I think I'm going to let it rest again. Come back in a few minutes. Okay, so it's been resting. Let's have a quick look at it. This does feel very strong already. It's not bad, but it's quite smooth looking as well. I think I think that's done looking at that window pane. I mean, you can actually, yeah, let's just get the camera. You can see right through it, it's that thin. So yeah, I think that's done. It's lovely and smooth looking. So I'm not going to do any more on that. I don't want to overdo it. Super. Right, I'll get this out and chuck it in a bowl, and then we'll leave it for probably about 3 hours, I think, and then I'll see what it's like and then ball it up. So yeah, we'll do that. Okay folks, feast your eyes on those daubers. Really are big dough balls, those now. Okay, it's time to cook this BIGA dough, and I'm really impressed with how that's come out. In fact, it's almost touching the top of the board. So I don't know why, but I ended up with not enough dough to make 6 of them the same size, which is a bit bizarre. Anyway, look at that, they look superb. Very full, look at that, full of gas. So let's see what this comes out like. Considering it's 70%, it's not tacky, it's pretty nice. Okay. Whoa, look at that dauber. I mean, look at it. Got a feeling it's going to be retracting, but I could be wrong. There's your artwork destroyed, I'm sorry, Natasha. Well, actually, it does feel like it's going to retract slightly. It feels all right. Doesn't feel fragile in the slightest. Some serious gas going on. Wow, I can feel it right in the middle here. It feels like it is going to retract. In fact, I can see it retracting when I press on it. So take some stretching. It's thick, very thick, the base. It's hard work, that's for sure. Okay, let's move this out of the way. It's not required at the moment. Retracting like mad. Wonder if I've over mixed it. Right. God, it does look good. I can just tell that it's got a bit of right, let's have a look at it now. Yeah, it's come out all right. Should stretch a bit bigger on the peel. Got some huge basil leaves from the shop, which is why there looks to be lots of it there. Let me just deal with the microphone that's falling all over. Okay, the cheese. Some white on the subject. And then we'll throw a few finely chopped onions. Few mushrooms, says it, chicken again, but yep, chicken. Try to stick to the low fat stuff where we can. Okay, get the peel. Oops. Stretch her out, retracting like mad. It's not made a bad sized pizza in the end. Okay. Some more mushrooms in them. And then I've got some pastrami beef. Okay, that looks respectable. Okay, let's go and get it in the oven. And there she is. Quick temp check. Ooh, it's a bit high. Turn it down a little bit. Let some hot air out. She's off. It's a little bit warmer today outside. It's got to something like 7 degrees. Wow, yeah, that's starting to look good already, that. Ooh. It looks nice. Looks very nice. Looks like a nice crust. Mixture of Molino and Manitoba. I have to think about that then. Well, yeah. Some steam coming off it. Smells great. Right, I think that's a dunner. Right. Don't know. Feels a bit doughy there. I think I might put it back in for a bit longer. Just a little bit longer. Okay. Nobody wants doughy pizza. Right, I think that'll have to do. I'm just going to end up frying it. Okay, let's get it in the house and have a look. Okay, so it looks pretty nice. It's got a nice crisp to it. Let's have a quick look inside. Wow. Oh, look at that. Let's give it a test. It has got a little subtle flavours. That is quite nice. It's very light. It's very, very crispy on the outside, which is quite nice. But yeah, quite happy with that. It's got quite a complex structure to it really as well. Yeah, tasty that, very nice. Yeah, quite enjoyed doing that. I've not done BIGA for a while. It's turned out very well. Give it a whirl. It's not hard to make really, to be honest with you. And I think it's worth it when you get a nice pizza like that. Other than the fact that the dough retracted when I tried to make the pizza, it was a really nice dough. Lovely, crunchy outside, nice and soft inside, and it had quite a nice taste to it. In fact, everybody seemed to really enjoy it. I'll definitely do it again. It's pretty easy to do. And as you can see, the pizza did look pretty damn good. And on that note, I'll leave you to it. I will see you shortly. Thanks for watching.